Hello, job seekers. Today's video comes directly from you. One of you watched a video that we had posted out on our YouTube channel and asked if it was possible to create a video that would show you step by step how to tailor your resume to a job posting. Now, we talk a lot about this in a lot of our other videos, but we don't actually ever show you, I realized, step by step. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a resume and I'm going to go out and search for a job for that position. And then I'm going to add things from that position onto the resume to show you how to customize each and every portion of it. Now, there's lots of people that'll tell you have to customize every single part of your resume every time you look for a job. You don't. You don't have to change the entire thing. In fact, that'll drive you insane if you try to change everything every single time. You just need to make sure that you come up in the search and you're showing the best of you. But you should only be applying for jobs that are about a 75% match to you. So most of your data should match the jobs that you're picking and the jobs that you're applying to. So it's more about highlighting what maybe isn't there, that you still have that experience instead of just starting over from scratch every time. So here's what we're going to do. First, I'm going to go ahead and pull up a resume, and let me show you what I'm going to pull for this one. Let me go to, here we go. This is our resume template that we have out there. Anybody can get this. We have that resume template video that we've tested this resume a billion times. We know that this is maximized for you with the person who's reading it and all of the systems. So this resume is actually built for an HR person, and it's got all HR data on it because I'm an HR person and it was the easiest one to build. So all of the information and data that's out here is very HR related. You can see the last job was a VP of HR. There was actively seeking during COVID for a time, then a director of HR, so on and so forth. So I'm going to take and look for a VP of HR job, and then I'm going to take that and tailor this resume to that job. Okay, so let me do that by just going out to a new tab over here on Google. And what I'm going to do is just type in jobs VP of HR, just like you see there. And what it's going to do is it's going to pull up a set of jobs. There's ones here from a couple of different places. Let's try one and see if it works. If it doesn't, then we'll go look at another one. But let's take this first one here that is a VP of Human Resources. And let me see if I can zoom in a little better on this so you can see this a little stronger. Oh, can I make this go over more for you? Well, I think you can see that for the most part. Okay, so this is a VP of HR jobs. It says the company is unavailable. Let's see what else we have down here. This is looking for vice president of HR for our family-owned steel distributor. Well, it may be unavailable, but you can tell a lot about it. Now, most times when you're doing a job search on LinkedIn or Indeed or wherever, in this case, Google Jobs, there's going to be a way to click to get more details about the job, more information about the job description. Now, again, the job description is only as good as the company that put it together. You hear me say that a lot. This one seems to have a lot of data. Oh, and look, it even has an additional description. Oh, and look, it even gives you more information. So now I know it's a family-owned steel distributor company in Houston. So I could probably figure out who that was if I did a little bit of searching. But as I'm going down through this job description, what you're going to be primarily looking for to start is go down until it gets to where it's talking about education and key skills. Well, this one has a lot of great data in it. Let's go down to qualifications. Okay, here's where we start talking about things like bachelor's degree, related master's degree, highly preferred. These are the things that when a recruiter gets this position in their hands, and remember, know your audience, and they say, okay, I've been given this job by the hiring manager or by whoever, I have to now find somebody that matches this job. Now, let's say that this was not a VP of HR, but it was a VP of chemical engineering, or since it's a steel company, a VP of operations, VP of sales, whatever. They may not really understand that job, right? This recruiter, this talent sourcer, they're going to understand what's on there. Now, depending, some of them that are more advanced may know a little bit more, but a lot of them are just going to look at that job description and say, okay, what does the hiring manager want? And in this case, they're going to go down to the education experiences. They don't want to see anybody that doesn't have a bachelor's degree. They prefer a master's. They want somebody with this. Those are the key things that they're going to enter into the search parameters. If I am going into LinkedIn Recruiter and I'm searching for this role, I am absolutely going to hit as one of the base level position requirements is you have to have a bachelor's degree. So things like this area is where you need to focus your time when you're looking at changing and adjusting your resume. Let's go back and look more at this, and I'll give you some more exact ways of how to do this. Okay, so in here it says proven experience, 10 years in senior HR leadership roles. Let me see what else it has here. Experience performance management, talent acquisition with a manufacturing environment. Okay, that's already a bunch of information, a bunch, right? So I know that they're looking for somebody with performance management, talent acquisition, and manufacturing. Let's go back to the resume now. If I go back to the resume and see this area at the top, where is this bulleted areas? If I do not have that information up here, this is where I'm going to add it. Now, the way that the brain works, so when they're reading in English, they're going to go to these bullets that are up here first. So curriculum development may not be something that's key for this position, right? But performance management might be. So I have performance management on this resume over here. I may want to change that and put that over here instead. And I know that they're looking for other things, like, for example, they said manufacturing. Well, this particular person, if they have manufacturing experience, it's really easy to put right up here, manufacturing industry experience. Now, why am I putting this up here even if it's down in the resume down below? There's a dual reason. Remember, the systems are going to read your resume instantaneously. So if I already have performance management somewhere and I already have manufacturing somewhere else down below, that's great. The system's going to know it immediately and pull me up in the search. But it's not going to be the system that's going to be hiring you. It's the person, right? And so you got to now get past that first person looking at your resume once you've made it through the search. That's why we're putting this information as requirements of what they want in those top left bullets. Now, if we have to use all the bullets and change all of them, that's great and fine. And you saw how easy it was for me to change these bullets. Now, there's other things that I can absolutely do. For example, I'm going to go back into it. And remember, one of the things it said is it wants an HR leader with over 10 years experience. I can put, instead of professional, I can change this and say human resources leader with, over however many years, 15 years. And I know I have a typo there, give me 15 years of experience. I would even change that further of HR senior level. I can never type when I'm trying to do a video. And change it so it looks better from that standpoint to match with the job description. Let me go back to that job description. Remember, we saw those different things in there, the 10 plus years of the leadership role, so on and so forth. There's other things in here which are going to be just as important. Let's look for some other things. Okay, SHRM-SCP, SHRM-SCP strongly preferred. Well, if that's a certification that you have and you have it down at the very bottom of your resume, that may not be the best place. You may actually want to put that after your name. In my case, I have the SCP. So I can add that one certification that they're really looking for right at the top of my resume to make sure the person looking at it sees it right away. Let's go back to the job description again and look at some more ways that we can do this and other things that we can do. Physical requirements, I'm not worried about. So let's dig in here a little bit more. Okay, this one has experience with union relations, negotiations, and collective bargaining agreement. Now, if you don't have it, it's okay, right? I mean, they're not looking for 100% match, but if they are looking for something important that you don't have yet, before I applied for this job, I would go out and I would go on to LinkedIn Learning, HR.com, and take a class in one of these things. Now, I have some of this, so I can just add this to the resume that is me, right? And back and say, let me go to the resume again, clicking back and forth here. I can choose very close up here to say, labor relations union experience. Now, I could even leave it just as that if maybe I haven't done, first or second chair negotiations or things like that. But that's the type of things that's going to get somebody's attention to want to get you on the phone. And that's where you have the opportunity to sell all of you as opposed to just being judged from this piece of paper. Okay, let's go back to the resume again. Keep going back and forth. Whoops, there we go. What else does it say in here? Strong experience in handling payroll, benefits administration, team leadership. Let me go back again, make sure we have payroll and benefits administration right up to the top. Let's see. We have benefits and broker management, which is good. I do not see that we have payroll up here. It's very easy if you have that skill to make sure that you're highlighting it. Oh my goodness, right up here by the top. Okay, so this is the easy part about doing the resume changing and adjusting, right? Let's go to the second part, which is a little bit more challenging, I understand. If we go back to that job, once we feel like we've dug through all of here and we feel like all of this is really well positioned in that top section of our resume, then as you're reading through, you might want to say, okay, let me take one or two key bullets out of this and see if I have a bullet that matches this. And so there's a lot of different things that are on here. HR systems, union relations. Let's see, payroll benefits, effective coaching. You can choose any one of these and make sure that you're focusing in heavy. Now, here's a little secret for you. The same way that they're not looking at your full resume, not all recruiters, but sometimes recruiters don't read the full job description either. There's great, fantastic recruiters, and there's ones not so much. They should be reading through and understanding the entire job description, but some of them don't. So they tend to default more towards going to that skills, experience, education, and then reading through like the top level bullets or top level sections of a job description. So in this case, if you're having to choose one because there's just too much there, let me share that back again. I would tend to look more towards the top of the job description as opposed to the bottom. See what's more important that they put right up towards the very, very top. They have optimizing HR systems, HR strategy, and leadership. This is an area where you might want to go to your resume, I would, and say, okay, I'm going to make sure it's up here, but I may want to take this first bullet or two right here and add in a bullet or two where you did this in your most recent job. Now, you want it to be close to the bullet they have, but you don't want to match it word for word, right? So sometimes people say, I know I did it. It's just very, very hard for me to step by step put it out there. Well, go watch the video that we did on ChatGPT and how you can use ChatGPT to help you build bullets in your resume. Do not have it build your whole resume, but you can absolutely enter in keywords and say, create me a bullet for my resume around this. Use it as a base, which then gives you information, and then take that and apply that into your resume. It's way, way better sometimes than just trying to start from scratch. Okay, I hope this was in-depth enough. We're already over, we're about 13, 14 minutes, and I don't like to do videos this long because I know it's hard to keep through that long. So if this does not give you enough information and you want to see more about how to tailor your resume, put a comment down below, and I do read them, and we do try to make sure we're doing things aligned with what you all need. If you haven't subscribed yet, take a moment, please now subscribe. Follow us on our other platforms. We have tons of data that we share out different ways depending on the different platforms. Let us know what you want, job seekers. We're here to help. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.